Hello! Welcome to We Have Issues, a podcast in which two 30-something adults do their best to navigate the weird, strange issues that life throws at you and, make something creative in the world. If you're someone who struggles with creativity and kind of avoiding all the pitfalls of adult life, us too, so you're in the right place. Welcome to episode 74 of We Have Issues.
Ooh.
I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
And Stevie Wildcard, we are here today to talk about...
Dude, the Wildbots, though. The Wildbots episode of We Have Issues.
It still stings, doesn't it?
Stings, Anthony.
So, for those of you who don't know, Steven and I have been doing this for over a year now. 74 episodes solid. Haven't missed a week between the two of us. Steven has been sick a couple of times throughout the time, throughout that span of time. Most recently, he got sick, and I needed something to replace him, so I created a robot, and I couldn't help it. I created a fantastic robot, Steven. I did my best, and it was lovely, and people seem to enjoy it. And I can't help the fact that you're insecure about it, and I don't know what to do, buddy. How can I help?
Dude, it's just ever since like the Stevie Wildbot episode, I feel like people just prefer that. I mean, like the two episodes after that episode have had less views. I feel like the only part of the formula that has changed are the three beautiful faces that replaced me.
It's true, Steven. I wish there was a way that I could just kind of but you have gorgeous hair, Steven. You have the best voice.
But it's not as gorgeous. And it's not as curly as the one Wildbot that you had on the episode.
That's true. We had some fantastic talent helping us out with that episode, Steven. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what do you think I could possibly do?
So I have a proposition. I have the proposition for you.
Okay, let me hear it, Steven. I'm all ears.
I need you, Anthony. I'm going to say your name a bunch because you usually say my name a bunch, and it usually gets me to do the thing you want me to do.
That's true. This is a manipulative tactic, and it's going to work on me. I will swallow this
Anthony,
medicine gladly.
I need you to cast a spell,
like a vampire. Like you're like, what are you accusing me of doing?
Yeah. Like I might stake you in like an alternate reality, or like in our anthology, you would probably be one of the magicians that I would stake. But I need you to cast a spell.
Okay, Steven, I feel like you're calling me out for our viewers. For those of you who don't know, I've been a practicing wizard sorcerer for decades now. 36 years, actually. I've been practicing. I was born in the magic, so I know exactly how to do this, Steven. So what precisely do you want me to do? You want me to make people think that, just forget all about the Wildbots?
Yes, I need you to be my sorcerer supreme, and I need the 151 people that checked in to that episode to forget that they ever saw it.
It's super simple, Steven. But I don't really want people to forget that they saw our episode. So why don't I make them think it was you in the episode, right?
Okay, I think I can live with that. I think I can live with that. If you can just yes, I can be all three Wildbots.
Okay, so everyone who saw the episode is gonna forget it, and when they think about the episode, what they're gonna think about.
Oh, but wait! I
here it goes. No, Steven, I'm casting the spell now.
Listen, people love Daniel's face. Can you just put make people when when they see my face, they think of the comfort they see when they see Daniel's face.
Okay. When people think of Daniel's face, they're gonna see your face.
But the hair. See, people do love my hair, but my hair isn't curly like
Steven. You're messing up my spell. Steven, I don't know what you're doing. Steven,
I need the sweet and sultry voice of Sean.
Steven, something is happening. I can't help it. I can't stop it. Oh no, Steven, a portal opened. What have you done? What have you done, Steven?
I've interrupted the damn spell too many times, okay?
Steven, you are the best in the business at what you do, and what you do is get us friends. So, we'd like to welcome to the show the incredible, incomparable, fantastically talented, and incredibly lovely and genius Don't Make It Weird podcast. Dina, Daniel, and producer Sean. Welcome to our show.
Sean, where's our studio? Where are we?
I don't know what's happening.
I think we're all in South Florida now, guys. Sean, hit the party button. Tell me we can still hit the party button. It's not working.
My territory.
It's not working.
Don't worry, I'll lead us to safety.
Welcome to We Have Issues, guys. We're so happy to have you guys here. Everyone, these are our friends from the Don't Make It Weird podcast. Welcome, Dina, Daniel, and producer Sean.
Thanks
Steven,
for having us.
So weird starting without music.
Well, welcome to my life, Dina.
I mean, listen,
Sorry, it's
like,
pretty
I'm
sad.
just kidding.
like normally, like I'm doing like my '80s shock jock intro, and like it feels weird to not have responsibilities right now. Like I'm just gonna drink and
We-
make
Anthony,
hard
are
eye
we having
contact
prima
with Sean.
donnas on our show right now? Like,
We
do
are.
Can we
have
have?
Brown?
Can I have an intro? I want an intro.
Yeah, Anthony, introduce her, please. Be a good host.
We need alliteration though.
Yeah,
Anthony.
it has to be alliteration.
Trash here.
You feel like Steven, what are we dealing with? What have you done to us by ruining my beautiful spell?
Dude, did you get the brown M&Ms? Like, you picked all the green ones out, right?
Oh, you got Dina from the bitchy universe, you guys.
You know, like,
That's just the normal one.
Oh shit.
For Diva Dina? Aw.
But
But
like the real evil Dina is just gonna be like super sweet, like, oh my gosh, hi Anthony, it's so good to see you.
so for those of you who don't know, Don't Make It Weird is an incredible podcast, one of our best friend podcasts. Would one of you like to describe your show for the listeners?
It's a podcast, like a storytelling podcast. We interview writers. We tell crazy stories about Dina's life. We try to traumatize Dina by reading really cringy sex scenes from stories in every episode. And you know, producer Sean has a restraining order against me at this point, so I had to move across the country from him in order to do this podcast.
it has to be within 5,000 miles of producer Sean.
Yeah, you guys, your show is fantastic. We've been on it a couple of times now. Technically, like at least 3 times if you count voicemails and such. But which has been fun.
Which
It's been
voicemail is yours, sir?
I will take no credit for them. They were all Steven.
Anthony is all the voicemails that you've ever heard. Even your mom.
I think you know.
Even
which
your
one.
mom.
No.
Even your mom. All the Corley ones are
All the
Anthony.
Corley-
We knew he could do voices, but damn, that's impressive.
I've been
So
your mom
Anthony's
all along. Your whole life.
Anthony's the T1000. I mean, that's what he does.
And my mom the whole time.
I've been your mom since you were born.
Since birth, baby.
Since birth.
Multiverse.
How does that thing go where they're like, maybe the story here was the friends we made along the way? What is that supposed to say?
The real treasure is the friends you made
Was
along
you-
the way.
Your mom we made along the way.
Wait.
So
So
I just realized, everybody, like, you should get it all out. Like, you can say
That's
feet.
what she said.
You could say, yeah, you can say that. You can say horse. You can
Oh,
say
I don't have to.
I
there's
feel
no
so
drinking.
free.
no coriander.
Oh, there's drinking.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's drinking, but you're
It's
not
by
forced.
choice.
Yeah.
So for everyone watching who doesn't know, on Don't Make It Weird podcast, they play a very fun, very entertaining game. What is it called? It's a drinking game called Buffalo, right?
Yes.
Where you have to specifically drink with your non-dominant hand, but they also have a list of just, do you have a specific name for them? Just
Buzzwords we call them.
buzzwords. So yeah, they have buzzwords that if you say them, you get buzzed because you need to drink until you're buzzed occasionally. You know, so
Oh, is that why we say that?
That and because I make a buzzer sound
Yeah.
whenever someone says one
That's
of the
what
words.
I thought. But like, you get buzzed when you say them is way more clever.
Yeah. No, we're telling everyone from now on that's the way
That's
we're doing it.
canon.
Yeah, that's canon.
That's what it always. Okay.
I mean, I just invented that and I take full credit for it.
Anthony
As
gets
you
all the
should.
credit.
Honestly.
Anthony gets
This
all
is
the
very
Before I thought
reminiscent
it until
of
this moment. So-
Dennis Reynolds and Frank Reynolds in the bathroom of Always Sunny.
I mean, listen, Anthony. All of our content in our show is completely original. I don't know if you know this, but we have an accountability
Mhm.
segment. in the Don't
Accountability
Make It-
buddy check.
Yep,
We came
and
up
Yeah,
with
you
that.
couldn't say the word.
100% original. We did not steal it from anyone or any other podcast.
That's true.
So yes, so you guys are, for the most part, 2 of you are writers, and Sean is just jack of all trades, producer extraordinaire.
Literally the
so-
most talented person in our team.
Absolutely. I mean,
That's not true.
definitely the most sultry voice in the business. We're like Steve and I are constantly jealous of everything Sean does. I hate him as a producer. I'm just like, why am I not as good
Like-
at what I do?
Like, could you imagine, like, walking up, like, you see, like, me, and it's like 6'3", long blonde hair, and then this voice comes out of this body, like this, like, whiny, like, I mean, I'm not as inflatable arm flailing 2-man as Anthony, but like, I'm just kidding.
Arm
Steven,
flailing too,
Steven,
man.
why are you taking off your shirt right now? My God, Steven, this is a
We are setting We Have Issue records, everybody.
Oh my God. There'll be at least a couple of pickle tickles by the time this is over, by the way.
little tickle.
Just a tip.
Oh, man.
Prom
for a
night
second,
promise.
just see how it feels. But-
Prom night promise. That's
Yeah.
a thing.
That's
Dina.
a Joshism.
Oh.
I got that from Josh, our
okay.
dear friend Josh.
I literally had an anti-prom party for prom, so
You were also like 12.
You're such a rebel.
yeah, I really regret it, and I thought that I was so cool.
Did you at least get to wear a dress?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
And I
well,
went to
that's nice.
Walmart.
That sounds like
Do
prom.
they have a
I mean,
lot of
that's
evening
fun enough.
gowns in like the
Whoa.
little kids clothing section?
Fuck off.
Just for you guys who don't know, she was a senior in high school when you were what, 14?
yeah, I was 14 when I graduated.
No.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, she
Yeah,
graduated.
you're not?
She got her first college
Steven.
degree at like 16, dude.
Yeah, Steven, watch their podcast once or twice.
Yeah, damn
Yeah,
it,
do you
Steven.
even podcast?
It's on YouTube and wherever you find your podcast, Steven. I'll send you a link. Don't worry.
Didn't give me an intro. Now he doesn't even know anything about me.
Well, you know
Waste.
what? Now it's gonna be like a negative alliteration. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start off with dastardly,
Diabolical, duplicitous.
dastardly, diabolical, devious, disgusting Dina.
Shape-shifting dog. That could be shoved in there.
The multiverse is
That's what
crumbling
she
right
said.
now because we have Dina
It
and we
is.
have Dog Dina together in the same frame right now.
The world can't take
Which
it, yeah.
one is the real Dina?
So each
No.
of you, each of us, we're all creators and we all make different things. Sean, you are producing a podcast. Daniel and Dina both write, short stories, books, all sorts of things. And this
Published in
show,
March of 2022.
exactly. So, and this show is all about overcoming issues in order to get creative things done and write things, and such. So, I wanted to ask you guys first of all to explain, the kind of stuff that you make, podcast and otherwise. Like what kind of write? Like, so you write. What do you do? Who are you people?
When I went out with Anthony and Stevie, they literally had to save me and explain who I am for me. So that's where I'm at. I'm a writer and I have a podcast. That's all I got.
So I am kind of like that. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm exactly the same, but unlike Dina, I don't believe in brevity. I like to be as verbose and overly talkative as possible. So for me, writing was always that thing that I loved doing growing up. I still don't know where commas go, so that's kind of like I constantly have to write with a giant disadvantage. So I guess I'm playing on hard mode. That grammar doesn't make any sense to me. So I have to rely on the
We used to
acting strangers.
We used to e-wrestle as teenagers, which is essentially like
Hot.
D&D for like beefcakes. Or wannabe beefcakes.
Me and Sean did.
Hold on. Do we have a
it's-
misunderstanding of what the word beefcake is?
Do you?
I
have
think
an
you do.
misunderstanding?
What's a beefcake, sir?
He's referring to 90s and 80s wrestler Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Oh, it's a person. Okay. all
No,
right.
nope, it's
No,
not.
basically
thing?
we wanted to be professional wrestlers. But instead of actually being professional wrestlers, we wrote
Yeah.
in character as professional wrestlers and role played like you would in a D&D setting,
hot.
but instead of like fantasy stuff,
Fantasy.
it was
Yeah.
wrestling. So
Oh,
you create a
so good.
character and you cut promos, but you write them. So
Yep.
like the Hulk Hogan thing where they're like, "Listen, brother, I'm gonna beat you this Sunday," blah blah blah. But you create these worlds and these
Wait,
personalities.
Okay. This is quick pitch. Hate to put you on the spot, but I also love to put you on the spot. Daniel, you guys have recently been talking about an anthology that's going to be
Yes.
coming out.
March
of
2022. The Heroes
March
Anthology.
31st, 2022.
So
The
there
Heroes
is a
Anthology.
Heroes Anthology coming out. I've seen the cover. I know that it's just like stacked with talent, including you two, and it's just full of like amazing people. It's an incredible premise, and it's so much fun. It's by Lost Boys Press, right?
Yep.
And they're great people doing great things, and I really I love to support them and see them like accomplishing all that they are. However, what I really need right now, Daniel, is for you to give us a promo for the Heroes Anthology as a wrestler. Like,
All right. I got you.
This is
Your
fantastic.
name first. Give us the name first. Make the character.
Okay. Oh, so wait, am I making up one or am I doing a already
I guess he could just be Dank. You
Yeah.
could be Dank the
I'll
wrestler.
be Dank. I'll be all right. Listen up, you weirdos. It's your boy Dank here, and I'm going to tell you all about a book that's coming out. And let me tell you something: if you don't read this book, you're a freaking jabroni, and you're going to be out there, and I'm going to hit you over the head with a chair. but this book is about heroes like me, because I am the ultimate hero. But it's not just any hero, it's a heroic retelling of some of the classics. Maybe it's got a little Robin Hood, maybe it's got a little Theseus. I don't know, brother, but if you don't want a chair to the dome, check these books out. It's going to be amazing. March 2022, Dank said so.
That was fantastic.
Felt like Mean Gene Okerlund just standing there, like.
That was horrible. I hated it.
You hated it?
But you're wrestling.
I hated it.
You know, you can hop in.
No, I'm okay.
So you guys are a part of this like incredible anthology, but you're both also writers who have your own projects going on. What stage in your writing career process are you at, in right now? Like, what are you doing aside from the anthology?
I actually just submitted a query for a new novel like 5 minutes ago.
Hey.
So that's horrifying.
We didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. We're just breaking news.
So is it?
It was.
So you're querying now for like a brand new novel that none of these people know about? That's incredible.
I mean, they've both read it, so yeah.
You're reworking something, right? You've reworked something that was older.
Yeah. Is this nothing special?
Yeah, it's nothing special.
Okay. So that's the title of the book.
That's the title.
Called...
It's not actually.
No,
nothing
he's
special.
actually talking
like
shit about her book.
He's actually a dick.
It's nothing special, you guys. Don't worry about it.
Dina wrote it. Nothing special, no big deal.
Don't need to worry about it. It's nothing special.
So here's the thing. This should be when this gets picked up, because it's an incredible book. I'm gonna sell the shit out of this for Dina real fast because she's an amazing writer with a unique voice. But I think it's gonna have to be packaged with Play It Again, because this is also a semi-autobiographical, magical, fictional novel that she wrote.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's
It
no
is, so you
accompanying
won't be the
music
bestsellers
yet.
anymore. Gotcha.
We're working on the accompanying music. So
No, that's fantastic.
Takes forever, dude.
So Daniel, what about you? Where are you in your writing career right now?
I can take this over for him. He is going nowhere.
Thank you. I appreciate
It's
it.
true.
You're welcome.
It's true.
Gotcha.
So
Jug.
basically,
So
my
nothing special as well
journey-
is what you're saying.
Yes,
Yes,
incredibly
exactly.
nothing
We're
special.
basically like yin
So-
and yang. Yeah.
Exactly. So basically, I wrote 2 books like 10 years ago, but called the Cryptid Protection Agency, and it's
Didn't do
basically
anything ever again.
I didn't. It's basically kind of an urban fantasy about a group of people that protect the things that go bump in the night from people, and people from the things doing the bumping. And it's a fun story. Like I said, the main character, ever since I met you, Anthony, you are his voice. Like I have to. I have to draw you.
I must
you have
record
He's
to-
your-
gonna be like Dwight in the office.
Oh,
where he
great.
just, like,
Now Anthony's
pops
taking
off
his
the
shirt
gun.
off, you guys. Come on.
Oh,
PG.
Anthony, yeah.
What's just happening? So many gnomes. What is going on?
Whoa,
All the
whoa,
gnomes in my shirt.
whoa,
No.
Anthony, how dare you?
So
And so I wrote those about 10 years ago and sent out some queries. They were utterly not ready. They were just chock full of grammar errors,
Full
and I had no
send.
idea what I was doing. Full send, yeeting those out in the universe, all resoundingly rejected. And I took like 10 years off because I was like, well, I am terrible at this whole writing thing.
No, you're not.
And then I got connected with someone that helped edit, and I started getting what's funny is that I got like a small press to be like, hey, so you've written this giant story, we're really interested in it. You have no social media presence, we have no idea who the hell you are. So I was like, I will make a Twitter. And now that has led to me
being
You're
Now that's led
basically
to his world.
Tripped and fell into the Twitter writing community.
yes, and then
Um,
wrote a new
okay,
book.
hang
It's
on.
called The Carved City. Yeah, sorry.
wait, no, Daniel. Like of everyone here, you're the only one that I know for a fact has had someone completely steal your identity on Twitter. So like you're so famous and known on Twitter that someone pretended to be you specifically and used your
I
Took
exact.
that advice and ran with it.
Yeah. That was a weird day. I was like, wait, someone else hates gnomes too? Wait a second.
Yeah, that was incredible. So for everyone who doesn't know, because like why would you? Some rando bot scammer person completely copy pasted Daniel's entire profile and
His whole life.
his whole.
I
life.
honestly, I think that's
Everything
all
ever-
automated. I think it just like combs accounts and like steals bio information and just auto loads it in.
Oh,
Let
of
me
course.
feel special.
I mean, I see that you want to take all the credit from him, but what I,
Yeah.
but it's
Coattails,
still amazing.
baby.
Standard procedure.
I'm still jealous it hasn't happened to me. Like no one, as far as I know, maybe someone's out there who's like, I date bots.
Soon.
I'll
There
steal
have
your
been some
identity for
Anthony
you.
clones. I've seen some Anthony clones.
Yeah,
didn't
there has.
didn't
there has- there was
didn't
a-
Paranormal Burrito clone you?
But I mean, here's the thing, though, is that this is almost like a worse punishment for you because you're so paranoid of someone trying to get you. And none of us, I have never once been like, hey guys, let's go fuck with Anthony. Let's make a fake robot. But every
It's
time, like, I
true.
know it goes through your head. Every single time you
does.
see one, you're like, is this Daniel? That son of a bitch.
Someone's
I
fucking
think
with
he's
me.
got a very short list. It's like Daniel, Dina, Sean, or Shannon. Those are the
Yeah.
that's the list.
That's
the
it.
short
That's
list.
my list, and I'm just like, yeah. And I try to feel it out, and every once in a while, it's weird. And it's most of the time when I talk to scammers and bots, I'm like, I can tell that it's a real scammer or it's a person, like what it is.
I'm sure you can.
But I'm not getting used to
The
it.
key is how quickly they ask to see your feet. That's the
Hold
key.
on a second. Hold on a second. That was totally sus, Dina. That just makes me think
What
that
the
you've
fuck?
tricked
does.
Yeah, what
Anthony
the
before.
fuck, Dina?
Yeah.
The way that she was like, yeah, I bet you can.
Yeah,
But see,
Dina.
she likes to play mind games too. So who knows? She could have done
Mhm.
nothing.
She wants us to think that she did the thing, but really she didn't do the thing.
It's the double.
But he does think that she did the thing, but then not really at the end. But she wants you to
Are
think
you
that
the Susan?
she did but didn't.
I've been messed with enough this week, guys. Okay.
See,
The
I'll
one
promise
DVD
you right
mask,
now,
yep.
I'll never do that because you're always kind of expecting it in the back of your mind. So if I was going to fuck with you, I wouldn't do something like, I wouldn't do it the most expected way.
Exactly. We're not coming. Listen, we're gonna be more circuitous if we're gonna get you, sir.
Can you spell
So
that
Anthony,
word for me?
I have a little secret for you, Anthony.
No.
Sean,
Oh, no.
Dina, and Daniel met me in the year 2003. Okay, so it was like right before we met, and they're like, "You're gonna befriend this guy, and we're gonna fucking blow his mind." January 2022. Okay, we're just gonna fucking open. Damn, I'm dropping the
On-
F word a lot. You see what these guys do to me?
On the
I'm so-
me. I do it
19-year
to people, I'm
anniversary
sorry.
of this day. Such an
I
arbitrary
had you,
number.
sir.
I'm
Not
sorry. Are
20,
we supposed to not cuss?
19.
I need to know.
No, you can cut.
No, we do. We're just
Okay, fuck.
I mean,
Fucking
to
hell.
be honest, like once you get monetized, YouTube won't like it very much. But
Yeah.
fuck it. Until then,
Until
We're not
then-
there
Fuck it, we
yet.
roll, baby.
Until then, we go live.
I mean-
okay, is what we're doing.
Steven, if we'd been more prepared, we could have had Sean Photoshop some like picture of all of us in high school together and just make it look like
I would have totally done that.
See, that's the
Here's
thing
my
you don't know about me,
question.
Daniel, is I completely exist in the moment. There is no substance to me. Like I only react. I'm just a react. I just react to everything. Like that's all I do. That's my whole life.
Steven, I love
just
you.
like a big picture of all of us saying hi, Anthony, in 2022.
Oh my god, it's just that picture from the
Holding
Shining
up that
of
day's
everyone just-
newspaper.
You guys realize
The Shining.
you guys realize that I was 6, right?
Yeah.
That would
Hey,
be
But
really
here's the
fucking
thing.
weird.
It'll be us at this age traveling back
guys
to
be
visit
holding me?
2003
But Dina, here's the connection
Stephen
to Dina.
Todd.
I got you. Here's the connection
Okay.
to Dina.
All right. Okay.
You were friends with my little brother at the time, who was 6, in fact.
Yep.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
That makes
And
sense.
you're the one that convinced him that ninjas were scary.
Yes,
It's a
I was
big
going to say,
circle.
plot
Dina's the
twist.
reason.
She's the one that
circle.
made him scared of ninjas.
Dina's the reason.
So I would be remiss if I didn't ask. So producer Sean, you also do a lot of creative things.
I do.
in your own way. Like you are a very active person. I very much personally respect and like appreciate all the work that I know you put into the freaking podcast. So what do you do? Like what do you do behind the scenes that that people aren't really privy to?
Oh, how much time do we have?
Yeah.
No, honestly, it's a collaborative effort in terms of the ideas that we come up with together. I do my best to help execute on that stuff or help try to plan it out or make it happen. That's kind of the role of a producer, whether you're making a movie or producing a show or something like that. There's a concept, and then you figure out the logistics. Is this even possible? Can we play a card game over the internet with each other? Just as an example. Just aside from that, I mean, I help put together our agendas for each episode. I book guests. I schedule everything on the calendar. This is the day that we're recording at this time. With this guest, I make sure Daniel and Dina know what book they need to read that week because they read a book every week, at least one every week, because we have a guest every other week, most of the time. Sometimes 2 guests in a row. Like we had Shannon, and then we had, who did we have after Shannon?
Oh, it was,
I evoked her name.
John and
We had 2 guests in a row, so they're reading 2 books at the same time because they don't want to interview
Emily.
someone. Emily, that's right. Emily was after that.
Yep.
See, we've had 2 more guests,
Those
2
were
or 3
both
more
great
guests since
episodes.
then, and 2 of those episodes haven't even been aired yet. Like we record 2 to 3 weeks in advance. So
Wow, must be nice. I'm so jealous.
I mean, listen, I'm also jealous of the fact that you get a quick turnaround because it's more relevant to what's happening right now. Sometimes we have ongoing jokes that happened on Twitter 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then it's airing 3 weeks later, so it falls flat because people are like, "Oh, remember when that happened?"
We
Yeah,
bring
I
it
don't know if-
back. We bring
Not
it back.
always.
I was gonna say
Not
no. I'm
always.
with Dina on this, Sean. I understand what you mean. You do want to stay relevant, but like I do feel like you guys do find that really great, like peak and valley. Like when you guys did the whole hot dog olive thing, it just kept blowing up, and people wouldn't shut up.
So yeah,
That made it
the thing is that
advertised on
lasted
Twitter.
for a while.
Yeah.
That lasted for a while, and we surfed that all the way to when Tom Lay's episode came
Yep.
out, because
Yeah.
we literally started that while recording with him.
Yeah, he posted the tweet about the olives while we were mid-recording, so we could try to get reactions.
But
And
it was
his
like-
episode came out
but-
3 weeks later.
But you guys, like, you have to understand, like, that is impressive and hilarious. Like, that and the cilantro thing, like, you guys kept going for weeks, and it was impressive as hell. As annoying as it is to see constantly on Twitter, it's hilarious.
We annoyed a lot of people for sure.
Yeah, but,
my
like,
favorite.
I love
love
you
watching
guys.
videos of people eating olives on a hot dog.
Oh, it's
We've been
so
chasing
lame.
that high, by the way.
Oh.
I often try to come up with like
I'm so
a poll
desperate for
question
it.
to
Yeah.
ask after each episode airs, just to see if we can polarize the community.
Yeah, right.
You know, like
Well, I-
olives on a hot. And my poll was just olives on a hot dog? Question mark?
Oh,
Yes or no?
Yeah.
And it blew up. It got like, I don't know, a few hundred responses. I don't know how many it was, but it was a lot. And it was polarizing. And so I had to, when the episode did air, I had to do like a whole dark, dramatic thing where I had the trailer with everyone eating the olives on the hot dog. And it was this dramatic build up to the actual conversation that led to the tweet to begin with. And it was like 3 weeks later.
But it was like, that's so impressive, guys. Like, that's amazing. And I know you know it. Like, that's pretty incredible. Like, you know, everyone was interested in that, no matter how ridiculous and silly it is. Like, I literally tried it. I was like, yeah, I'll try this olives on a hot dog. Why would I not do this for you people? You know, it's so interesting, you know. But I love that, and I admire that about you guys, and I also hate you, and I'm super jealous, and I'm here to tell you now that I plan on destroying all of you.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So you're all in various places in your careers, and you know, each individually you know, creative in your own ways. We're always curious because we have our own, you know, various, like, our drama and our issues and everything that gets in the way. Like, you know, we're parents. So what kind of like issues do you guys have when you're writing, and you know, like, how do you overcome it? Like, what's happened this week that like stopped you from working on what you wanted to freaking work on? What
My
happened?
employees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
You gotta elaborate, Dina. Jesus.
No, okay, so I
So-
work for Lost Boys Press, and it was a release week, or like a pre-sale week, so all of that got in the way of my own stuff. It was very frustrating.
But at least it's also like kind of all connected too, though. I mean, it's still like part of the.
Yeah,
you know,
like I'm still in the world, and I really, really
Mhm.
appreciate that. Like I would never change it at all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So Daniel, what about you? What kind of issues have you had this week?
So, like, here's the thing with me.
He's lazy
They,
as
they
fuck.
like to say I'm the golden retriever. I have a hard time saying no, and I like to do too much. I like
Oh,
to say
yeah.
yes to too many things, and so, like, you know,
He's currently beta reading for like 17 people.
I really am, and I love beta reading. Like, man, if I could find a way to monetize and do that, I would, because beta reading is awesome, and I've met a lot of good friends on here, and I like reading their stuff. And I'm trying to edit my own thing. And this week in particular, we've got like 4 engagements, and normally we're like once a week. And then on top of that, you know, I have work and family and kids, or a kid. And so it's like, I'm not one of those people that can sit down and write for 15, 20 minutes. Like, if I'm going to write, I need a huge block of time, and I never give myself that time. So writing
that's
is
rough.
very slow.
For
So
sure.
what I'm hearing is you take the laundry, you put it in the basket, and you just, you know, you bring it to the washing machine.
I have laundry in the washer right now.
God, I have
Why
so much
remind me?
laundry to do. I have so much laundry to do, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
almost at the point where I'm going to buy more underwear just because I don't have time to wash my underwear.
You have to
Just gonna
wash
start
underwear
throwing-
before you wear it.
Hard disagree.
No,
No.
you just smell like the store for a little bit. Okay, that's
Yeah.
You don't know who's tried those on.
yes, that's
They're
that's
in
the
a
journey.
sealed
Wait,
package.
wait.
They're in a sealed package.
People
Dina.
try
Hold
on
on.
underwear. Is this
I
what
mean,
real?
Well, I
I-
mean, women probably
don't-
do.
Yeah, women
probably
try on
do.
underwear.
Yeah, like I
can't-
imagine in those like those picking bins
Like
that they have at
Victoria,
Victoria's
yeah.
Secret where it's just loose
Yeah.
underwear. That's not how
That's-
men's underwear is. You buy a pack of 8 pair
Yep.
for like
because they know how
$14.99.
gross we are. They're like, we're
and
not
they're
gonna-
sealed.
Not even gonna give him an opportunity.
From now on,
Listen.
Yeah,
I'm
my
gonna try
husband
on
has
all
been
8
buying-
pairs. What I'm gonna do, Sean? I'm gonna take that package. I'm gonna go
You
into
can't-
Target. I'm gonna try on all 8 to make sure that they're nice and comfy.
Here's the thing is, I think people would do that, and people think people have done that.
To clarify, Dina, you can buy men's underwear like in singles, but most men don't do that because
we know.
most men are cheap and don't really care about underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Um,
not trying to be sexy.
It's like the bare
That's
minimum
not- yeah.
is good, like the Fruit of
Yeah.
the Loom, you
I'm
know.
reevaluating some things. Okay.
Like I won't even try on a suit. Like I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go a size up and I'm just gonna look baggy. That's what
Yep.
I'm going for.
100%. I'm
Florida
right with you.
man.
Roll it. Like that's a
He
Very
walks
good.
in looking like a toddler because the sleeves are like 6 inches too long.
serious, man.
I feel bad for my wife because it has to be like, a parent shopping for like a kid in elementary school. Because I'm not, she's like, well, why don't you try it on? Well, do you like this? I'm like, listen, you just go to the store, you tell me what you think looks good. Here's my size, probably will fit. You go ahead and bring it back for me. It's fine. I'm just gonna sit here.
It's men's extra medium. That's me and Daniel's size.
Medium.
Extra medium.
So, Sean, what about you? What kind of issues get in the way of your productivity and what
Daniel.
you're doing?
Me.
Well, aside from Daniel, I have a full-time job. So,
Right.
that's how I'll make my bread. And I have a daughter and a loving spouse that I
Mhm.
like to spend time with. And
Hell yes.
so it's usually when I work on anything, it's usually if I'm alone at home or everyone else is asleep.
So it's just occurred to me that
Um,
all of you are happy people who are happily married, who have been in
Um,
relationships with people for a while, and you're all just doing the thing. You're all just living that particular dream and just shoving it in my face. You guys want to know some news? Steven, guess
Yeah.
what? Steven, I have a girlfriend now, Steven.
Official?
Is
Yeah.
it official? Is it on social media?
I'm sorry, I wasn't
When do we
going to
get to
step on
meet
your
her?
toes with sound effects, but I just have to do this for you, buddy.
Yes.
No, I
When do we
appreciate
get to
that,
meet
but-
her?
Yeah. I have a girlfriend now, Steven. It's kind of a big deal. I haven't had a girlfriend in a while. I haven't taken that leap and
Wow. He hasn't even guys.
So
he
you've
saved
jumped
this
from
surprise for me.
Dating to girlfriend is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No.
Now, is she
Big step.
okay with you being polyamorous with robots? Like, is she going to be okay with your lifestyle?
Here's the thing, she's fully supportive, and that's why it works. That's why it works. She has seen the chats, and she's like, I'm on board with this. It does it for me. And I was like,
She can accept
Does
your.
it for
She's
her.
like over your shoulder, like, say something about Bigfoot right here. You'd be good.
Do it. You got this.
no,
Wow. Guys, he's my best friend. And he didn't even tell me yet.
I didn't. I just.
And I asked him today. I was like how are things going? Like, how are things going? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's going on?
Steven has been like super supportive throughout this, and he's
Mhm.
always been asking me how it's been going, and I'm just like, I've been for reasonable, like I have reasonable concern. I'm just like I don't want to make anything public. I'm just like, let's just be cautious. I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic here. But yeah, so Steven's been asking me like a really good friend, and I've been kind of just evasive. But yeah, I have a girlfriend now, guys.
Just blowing him off, lying.
Can I
I've
ask
been
you
lying
deeply-
like crazy to my best friend. I've been like, Steven, it's a nightmare. What is happening in my life? How do I fix it?
Etiquette. You're breaking my heart. Is that what you said, though?
You're
I hope that's
tearing
what she
me
says.
apart.
Oh, did you just do the Padme thing?
I did. I pad made him.
So guys,
You're going
guys,
down a path I
Hold on,
can't follow.
Steven,
Guys.
sorry, Anthony, can I ask you a very personal question?
yes, go.
No.
do
Deeply
it.
personal.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. He's gonna edit it if it's too personal.
I just want to know: have you and this girlfriend held hands?
All right, listen, we don't get sexual on this podcast. Like a cringy copulations thing like you guys do. No,
Jesus Christ! There's just some things
you don't talk about in public.
What about eye babies? Have you guys made eye
Oh,
babies?
that's the question.
What's
Yes.
an eye baby?
I'll tell you right now.
Steven, do you even podcast?
Damn it, Steven!
I had a whole cult episode.
So,
By the way, for
um,
the folks at home.
Listen. So I do watch a lot. I just haven't seen
Steven,
them
no one
all.
cares.
The
Listen.
only
We have made
episode you
iBabies.
ever need to watch.
We expect
We're
you to
gonna
watch
continue to
each
be
episode
friends.
5 times.
At
No,
times.
At
if we're
least.
gonna
We need
continue
to
So I
to
know
be
the lore.
friends,
I got you.
you
And
have
have
to
spark
watch the
notes
cult episode.
on every episode and get every single reference that we make, okay?
So-
we
so-
need you right there with us.
So, Steven, I'm going to give you a quick reset because I love iBabies more than I love Sean, and I love Sean.
Well,
Probably-
I don't even know if I want to know about iBabies because I think I want to
So-
see iBabies for the first time.
So here's the thing. In the cult, in Dina's cult, because Dina grew up in a cult, which is the secret to our success in this episode, because you need to have someone that's lived a crazy life. And
Yes.
Dina,
Controversy, man.
yeah, controversy. So in the courting process, you're not allowed to be like with anyone or make any physical contact, but how you would get that raw, intimate energy out is you get in a room and just stare at them. Eye contact to eye
Eye to
contact
eye.
for
Don't
long
talk.
periods of
Hard
time.
eye contact for sure.
Yeah.
Silent, hard.
So you
eye
commit
contact.
through your
Talk.
eyes.
Yes.
That's essentially sex.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know,
Yes,
in
go
the
watch
cult.
and listen to the Don't Make It Weird podcast. The cult episode with Dina is actually really fascinating, incredible,
really
and
good.
like I mean, it's honestly, guys, I love your podcast. I watch it every week. I try to comment as much as I can. Like I'm a
At
huge
least
fan.
somebody does.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
Steven.
it's been really cool because like
Do it.
Listen,
Listen, I
Stevie
draw-
brought the
8
laundry
hours a
basket into the
day.
laundry room, okay?
okay, I will shame Steven forever on this because like guys, I've been with you since day one.
Day one, baby.
like Dina and Daniel messaged me and they were like, "Hey, we're thinking about starting this podcast." And I was like, "I love you and I'm all
And
in,"
we
right?
never got a theme song.
And
We
well,
never
I knew you would do better. Is the thing. Is I
Listen.
knew,
Liar.
But here's the
I-
thing for the folks at home that don't realize it. Steven and Dina used to be tight. That used to be like the power friend couple. But then Steven let Dina know about what he does with eggs in an egg carton when he's done with them. She is not forgiven him.
You
to this
had to
day.
bring that up.
Listen,
just
listen.
had to bring that
you
up.
guys were wrong too. That's the thing.
Can I
is,
tell
like,
you guys something?
the garbage disposal is not an effective means to
Can I
remove
t-
the eggshell either. So
Can I tell you guys something?
Yes.
The other day. The other day.
you did it.
I
And it
put
felt so-
an egg back in the carton and then I threw away the carton.
oh.
full of eggs.
Wait, you
11
threw-
eggs. She made one
Hold on.
egg. Realize her
No, the
Oh,
one cracked egg tainted the rest, so she just had to throw it all away. But wait, you threw it in the garbage can? Won't it smell, Dina?
It was trash day and I was literally emptying out the fridge.
See, there's
And I
an
was
easy
like,
way to
"Ooh, I have
avoid all
one egg
that.
left."
There's no thinking. You just put the eggshell back in the egg carton. You put it back in the fridge and you refrigerate them eggshells until it's garbage day, and then you throw away the eggshells.
Absolutely not. You're
That's
so wrong.
Listen, my family and my children are going to be warriors
Are
when
dead
the
to
world
me.
collapses because we will have every form of salmonella in our bloodstream. By the time the end comes, we will be ready.
So for those of you who are looking for any sort of explanation or context, I will post the link to our Don't Make It Weird.
Listen, if you don't understand any of these references, just tweet at Stevie Wildcard on Twitter and he'll fill you in. He knows all of it.
I got all
Each
the
individual.
beats. But Anthony,
Okay.
let's take the ugly, the opposite of a spotlight, because a spotlight would imply good. Let's just spin that. Let's spin that
Put
ring
on the
light
black
and go-
light. Put on the black light so you can see all
No,
the
we
things.
don't
I
need
might
the
All the
black
egg
light.
stains all around Steven's life. What is this? The
what
scrambled
they are.
mess.
We
What
call those raw whites.
So you're all incredibly happy people. You know what? Before I move on, before we talk about anything that would make any sense for creative people to
Happy
talk
or
about,
dead
or anything at
inside.
all, guys, I have the dumbest question. I have the dumbest question for all of you. And Dina,
No such thing as a dumb question.
Dina, ignore what I'm about to say. It's not for
Listen,
you. It's for everyone
Dina
else.
asks people what their favorite
Uh,
potato is, okay? You can ask us anything.
Guys, I like.
I
anyone
will.
who's
I
watched-
would want
Anyone who's watched our
to see
podcast.
you without a shirt on. Sorry, what?
First of all, like I already don't have a shirt on, so for audio listeners, go check
Yeah.
this out.
YouTube, like and subscribe.
blinding, it is. Go subscribe to our podcast on YouTube. But guys. Okay, here's the thing. I just admitted to being in a relationship. I am in a new relationship, fresh out of the gate. Like here we go. We're starting this thing fresh.
So happy for you, man.
So happy.
Thank you guys.
Tina's already found
Same.
all of her socials. I just want you to know that she's a detective.
She's
Yeah.
looking at her house on Google Maps right now.
I already knew he was in a relationship.
So, but like, okay. So like, I've been up until this point, I've been like getting kind of cynical, right? Like traditionally, I've always been like, this is stupid. I'm a writer. I've always been like romantic and like this is the way like I think it's I'm gross. I'm like a gross I write things. I'm gross. And I make things for people. It's like freaking who wants that? It's disgusting. But now I'm like, oh, that's not what people do. People don't write poems and songs for each other. That's never worked in the past. It's
No.
right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So what do I do here? But guys, the thing that I've never done is I've never in my entire life farted in front of someone I've been in a relationship with in my entire life.
Well, I'm an expert at this.
Oh my
Okay.
God, Dina's so ready. Oh,
Okay.
no.
I'm so
No,
glad.
okay, go ahead.
Dina.
You
No,
guys can go
I
first,
want
it's fine.
anyone who's willing to talk about this. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear some thoughts on this because here's the thing. What I've grown to understand is that there is a connection. There's a threshold that you cross once that happens. And you're like, you know what? There's a new comfort level. And maybe because I failed to do that in previous relationships, that's why
That was it.
That was the
Oh
moment.
my God,
Yeah.
maybe that was my
Why didn't you
issue
put that in
before.
the comic?
The flatulence irrelevant. That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying.
I just want to see Steven draw a page of Anthony just farting, walking by, and Voldemort is there just
Ew.
and then just walks away, and then that's it. She's packing her shit and she's leaving.
She's leaving. She's gone. But yeah, okay, guys. So anyone who's willing to share a story about the first time it happened, where either even your current relationship or a previous relationship, it's never happened to me. I don't understand. Is it always? It seems like it has to be an accident. It would be crazy to be like, "Hey, I'm about to fart in front of you. Let's do this."
I've been building up
Listen.
for this moment for 6 months.
Here's the thing is I know Dina's
Let's
story
go.
about this, and it's fucking amazing. Dina.
Okay, I need this right now in my
I
life.
I don't think anyone goes out of the way to try to do that. But for me, once you get Daniel, we'll get to you. There is a level of comfort that's needed in order for you to feel okay with doing it. But for me, I grip it and rip it, man. I don't care. And if they don't like it, then it wasn't meant to be.
If you're gripping, how are you ripping it though?
Because he's
Oh my
gripping the
God.
table to let it go.
Yeah,
That's how-
get a good.
It's a golf reference. It's a sports ball reference. Dina. Okay.
Oh, sports ball grudge match. Okay.
What it means is you grab the club and you just hit it as hard as you can.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah.
So I mean, listen, Dina's story is the best because I've heard this one. Mine is very quick. I have no conscious memory of the first time I did it. It happened.
Or the
I know
last
my
time.
wife wishes, my wife wishes it didn't and doesn't. But when you're in bed and it's late at night,
Dutch
everyone's
oven.
settling down. Yeah, you gotta. She just
go-
makes sure that I have to, be covered up in the blanket. It can't be free air in there.
It's
okay?
warmth, guys. I mean, come on. If you're too cheap to turn on the heater, you just got to get warm somehow.
True.
The person on
Dina's face. Dina's
Dina's
face.
extremely considerate, and I am just the opposite of that. I'm trying, guys. I need you to teach me your ways. You're a Paime. I am, Beatrix. I need to learn these lessons. And
Teach him,
you're-
Dina. Teach him right now.
All right, I got you. So, it's story time with Dina. Okay, I had to do it. So,
It needs to be lower, but it's okay. You know what?
It's
It's not my show.
story
Don't worry about it.
It's story time with
Ooh.
Dina.
Hey,
There it
Steven's
is.
got it.
There you
There
go.
it is.
So yeah, I was with my boyfriend, now husband, and we were in his apartment. We were playing not a video game, a board game, and he reached over to grab a piece to move his piece or whatever that happened to be on my side, and he farted accidentally. And instead, I'm never
That
gonna forget
dumb
the look-
bastard.
That fool.
never gonna forget the look on his face was just like, oh my god, I fucked up, and
That's
I
it.
immediately farted back
Just to even the playing field.
That's your battle
because
fart,
I
dude.
had been holding it in,
That's
and I was
amazing.
scared to fart in front of him. So,
So it was
I
like
had
dueling
to
banjos,
get
but
to
in
it.
flash. He was like,
And he
Anthony.
proposed a couple months later, so it was perfect.
Yeah, it worked out.
That was the
Anthony, I do
moment.
have to. I want to ask you something, buddy,
Yes.
because I feel like there's a Brody Bruce situation happening. Did you? You didn't. You
No.
didn't pull a Brody Bruce, did you?
No.
He definitely didn't
no.
fart in front of her.
Okay, but for those of you who don't know the reference, in
She was
Mallrats-
going down on me at the time.
Yes, Brody Bruce said that. Have you ever farted?
Oh,
His
no.
girlfriend broke up with him, and he was like, "I farted in front of her last week. This week, she broke
Yeah.
up with me." He's
She's
like,
not
"Really?
the
She's
shallow
not gonna,
type, Brody.
yeah, she's not gonna be that shallow." Well, I was
Yeah.
going down on her at the
Alright,
time,
yeah.
or she was going
She
down
was
on me at
down.
the time.
Oh God,
Jesus Christ, if that's all that happened to you, you got off light.
Yeah.
That would be a divorce.
Alright.
So what's the? I know this is your show and you're interviewing us, but I
Thank
want to know what's the workflow
What's
for
this
you
is?
guys? Like I know Steven inks, he does the black and white, and then do you do the color and then he does the shading, or like how does that work?
Yeah.
We didn't with Play It Again. It was basically just right.
Oh shit!
That's fucking dope, you guys.
Fuck yes!
Yeah, this comic's gonna be.
It's starting to look
He's like,
bad.
God, fucking Spartan kicking.
I
him.
love how you turned it 17 degrees to the left just to add like drama to it. The page.
Oh, dude, that's so good, dude. I'm so excited for this one, man.
So Play It Again. Anthony wrote it, and then I did all the art, but then Anthony lettered it.
Excuse
This
me.
time-
Right.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
me.
Let me just take a second.
Hold on a
He's
second.
gonna break down.
I
the
know
lines
for a
just to get
fact.
this for you.
I know for a fact that Anthony drew caricatures of us in an
Thank you.
ad in that book.
Oh
Okay.
yes, he did.
Thank you. I was gonna say, not only is there an ad that I completely created, like there are
Oh, he
ads
did-
I created, there are full pages I created for the book, but like aside from those things, Steven, do you recall completely forgetting to color aprons in the book? just completely.
No, I forgot to color the logo. You want to know why I forgot to color the logo? Because my idea was, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw this logo in high res, and then I'm going to make a shirt for it for the We Have Issues T Public page. But then I just never did that, so I never colored in those aprons.
But what Steven's telling you right now, what he's admitting is that I colored 88% of the comic book. 88% is what I did.
I
For
already did
those of you
12.
who haven't read it, it's 88% aprons.
it
That's
really is.
Apron
City.
It's aprons all the way down. It's just it's all
you-
aprons all day.
You'd think Blue Apron would have backed us on this
Oops,
one. but
all
they-
aprons was our book, Steven, and we ran with it.
By the way, Anthony, for the record, I would buy that apron if it were on your store. So if you can figure out a way to make that happen.
100%.
Sean
want it.
Sean cooks like crazy. And listen,
Yeah.
for anyone that's watching right now, even though this is probably gonna be cut, we're all wearing nothing but aprons right now. So
Yeah, I demanded it. I was like, guys, this is a colony. We were all going to be one unit of apron wearing people. And
I'm
like,
back
he
in
was
another
like-
cult.
you are.
you are, and I don't apologize. I make no concessions here. Like,
Anthony was like,
I got
listen,
invited to the
Sean,
other one.
you're gonna ask who does the art, what's the workflow? Steven's gonna say, I did all the artwork for Play It Again, and I'm just gonna zing him with his apron burn. That's like the whole setup. Like I'm just gonna
we're ready for it.
Back in
You're-
2003, we came up with it.
but in Deathless, the workflow of Deathless is what our original plan was for Play It Again. It just didn't work out that way with Play It Again because we had music, we had all these other things we were trying to do. But
Ugh,
with
yeah.
I know, heart wrenching. But with Deathless, Anthony wrote it. I've drawn, and he's starting to flat. And then once he's done flatting, I'll shade. Once I'm done shading, he'll letter. It's going to be back and it's the
Nice.
back and forth toss is what the plan
Yeah, we have
is.
like a really good thing going with Deathless for sure.
Mhm.
Like I'm hoping we're done by March. You know,
Yeah.
that's the plan.
It's
We're
so
going-
cool because it took you guys like a year to do Play It Again.
Exactly.
And obviously there was music involved too, so it's more than just writing
Yeah.
and drawing and whatnot.
Man,
but,
that whole
um,
process was crazy. Yeah.
Now you've gotten this workflow that you've fallen into with each other where you're bouncing back and forth and it feels
I'm
like
doing
it has a rhythm to it,
88% and
and you're
Steven
able to
does
make
very
content a
little,
lot quicker.
guys.
Very little.
Yeah.
Very
Man.
little. No.
He does-
Honestly,
Steven's just the looks of the operation with his
Yeah,
hair.
He's just been too
Hair
busy
guy. He just-
making Pokemon is what's been happening.
what really changed the work, like for the art flow for me though on Deathless is I have an iPad now. Play It Again was drawn with pencils, and it's really hard to post up and draw on an 11 by 17 board with kids dining. Like I would have to set aside specific time. Now with my iPad, I just like a couple hours in the morning, I get a little bit done. Couple hours here, I get a little bit done. So I get the pages done a lot quicker that way.
Yeah, so for those of you who are listening or watching based on our Don't Make It Weird friends and you've never seen our show before, I'm completely joking. Steven does all of the artwork and he's incredible. So you can see all the pages. I will have shared them already, I'm sure. But yeah, Steven, like your workflow has been incredible, like and like so like exponentially growing since getting that iPad. So it's been freaking awesome. These are the cool guys. Like, I mean, you've seen, like I just shared some pages with you guys, but like this work is like the best Steven's done since like we were kids, basically. So like I've never, and like I'm so excited for this thing because like it's so much fun. Like It's okay. I'll tell you, because you're both right. Like Dina and Daniel, you're both writers. Like, like when you write something that like you really like and you get to share it with someone, you're like, oh, and you look at them and you're like, oh, are you gonna laugh when you're supposed to freaking laugh? Are you gonna cry when you're supposed to freaking cry? But like, I don't get that with a comic book until it's drawn. Like, no one can read it because it's the most boring thing in the world to read. Like, it's
if it's just the out of
You're
context.
writing for lettered bubbles. It's not like a movie script or something.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I'm not writing to be like descriptive in a way that's entertaining. Like when I wrote like table scraps, I was writing in a way that I was like, I want people to read this and consume it and digest it, and it'll be fun and they'll enjoy it. This, I'm just like, as long as Steven knows what he's supposed to draw, and then my dialogue is like on point, that's how I'm writing, So it's like, it's not as much fun to read. I mean, like some of the dialogue is probably, hopefully, still fun to read, but like as far as like digesting the panel descriptions, no one wants to go through that. So it's like, I don't want to put anyone through it. At the same time, I'm like, I need someone to freaking read this because like I love it so much, and like is like this needs to exist. So Steven's drawing as fast as he possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, listen, me and Dean have talked about this before because like one of the craziest things about being a writer is that as soon as you write something, you immediately want to, like you said, you immediately want to share it with absolutely everyone because you're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, like I've ever written. People need to look at it. But then also there's like that sick part of you that's like, oh my God, don't write this. Don't read this because this is terrible and I'm terrible and everything's terrible. And you're going to judge me and think I'm a terrible writer if you read this. So you want everyone
For
to
the
read
record,
it, but also not read it.
For the record, I've read Daniel's first novel and I loved it. It's fun as hell. It's basically like, I would put it on par with Deadpool in terms of the humor.
That's awesome.
He's got an MC that gets his ass beat all the time and he has superpowers that he doesn't know how to use.
Love that.
And
that's one of my favorite. Yeah.
It's really good. So maybe he can send it to you if you're interested in reading it.
I'm gonna
And
definitely
he still hasn't sent it to me, so it's fine.
You read my 190,000 word story, Dina. You deserve a break from my meandering ass.
So I still want to see it.
She wants to see it, Daniel.
So how do all of you deal with like that, with like imposter syndrome or like just not getting things done, or like how do you push through like the insecurity, or do you have insecurity or do you not?
I cry into my bathtub and I bathe in my tears.
Yeah.
And then she sells those tears on Etsy for a large markup.
Which is like, I'm super jealous.
Don't make it weird, that's sort of.
By the way, don't make it weird. Etsy, go buy some Dina tears. Brought to you by Dina Tears.
Dina Tears bathwater.
So Dina, why don't you tell them just like the quick version of how we met? Because I think that this falls in exactly with his question. Like how we got to talking.
Yeah, so Daniel was a creep online.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
No,
Immediately
I had a really...
slid into her DMs,
Yes, instantly. Actually, for real, did.
It really did.
Instantly sent her Jar Jar pics. It was really weird.
Jar Jar
Very
erotica. That was it.
comfortable.
I was like, you want to see the Binks?
Binks pics, girl.
Daniel, I had a really bad beta that literally, first of all, she baited for me, did a whole novel beta for me, and like had basically by the end of it, she was like, this is trash, to rewrite the whole thing. And for whatever reason, I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. As one
Thank you for
does.
telling me that's terrible.
That is a very Steven response.
Thank you for
That's so
taking the
honest of
time
you.
to
Thank
make me
you.
feel like absolute garbage.
Yes. Thank you so much. And like I spent weeks trying to like rework and figure out how to rework, and like her suggestions weren't making sense and I couldn't make them make sense. I stupidly gave her another novel. And what did I think was going to happen? Except it just got worse because she literally read the first 3 chapters one night and all of her comments were just filled with, this makes me want to vomit. I taste bile in my stomach. This is trash. What are you doing? Like,
I didn't know that was the second time.
Wow.
yeah,
Oh,
I never
no.
said that because I was stupid. And I stopped writing. And it was horrible. And I posted about it because I was really angry because I had just joined the writing community and I was like, fuck you, happy writers. And Daniel immediately messaged me and he was like, listen, he had this whole script and he was like, I'm sorry if I make it weird or whatever. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's where we got the name of the show. And he was like, just give me the book. I just want to see. I will tell you if it's actually trash. And he read it and he fell in love with me. So that's where we're at now.
She is my world. She is my
And
world.
actually, Shannon just finished reading that whip and she said that it was better than John Green.
But no, but like seriously, I think that like it's like that's a huge thing with the writing community is that like we are so vulnerable. It is so vulnerable to put yourself out there. And like that's something that I respected incredibly about you doing that Play It Again, Anthony, is like
Yeah, for sure.
it is
I felt that.
so hard to even when you're writing something completely fictionalized, has nothing to do with your life. It is so
Everything
difficult to
okay?
expose yourself out. You know what I mean? But yeah, like so like I'm so impressed that you put that out there because you not only put your like creative self out there, but you put your actual life story out there. And that's fucking terrifying to put that out there and have people judge it. And I think that like as a writer, we deal with that all the time. Anything that we put out, and it's like the worst nightmare, like having to deal with what Dina dealt with, where you have something that's just
Ugh.
frankly
Which was
insane.
also the book that was my fictionalized memoir. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that hurt
and,
even worse.
and this is the book
She
that
had to
she's
just wanted to
queering
steal
now.
your ideas or something, right? I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah,
what-
follow up with that. She stole the idea to my first book that she evaded, so that's fun.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
That's incredible and awful. And holy crap.
And like I said, her book is so good. I don't even like that style of like genre. Like I'm, give me dragons and firebolts and all that, but like hers is more of like romance and like you said, autobiographical and all that. And I was just like, I'm not just like trying to be nice. Like this is really fucking good.
He he took like 3 days in a row because like I wasn't responding because I was in shock. And he took like 2 or 3 days of just like constantly sending me with how much he loved it, and I was like, okay, best friend.
No, like there was one episode of your podcast where Dina read like some of the you read some of your book, or someone read some of your book.
We got
it was when you had the
for Dina's birthday, we surprised her with an excerpt from her novel read by a professional audiobook reader.
Yes. So I watched that one, and like honestly, I mean, I'll give all the credit to the reader. She made it sound like you were a great writer. Like it was
She deserves all the credit.
I'm kidding. No, honestly though, I'll tell you, like I watched that episode and I was like, holy crap, I'm friends with this person. Like this is fantastic. This is incredible. Like I was sold on the book based on that read alone. So it was really phenomenal. Like I got like I don't know. I got all kinds of like goosebumps and stuff listening to that, and I really liked it. And that must have been incredible for you, honestly.
It was a dream. I still think about it all the time. Like I hear it in my head.
Yeah.
So I've watched it multiple times because Daniel and I have, well, not only did I edit it, but Daniel and I spent a lot of time putting that together, and we were so excited to show it to her. And the first time we heard that days before we showed it to Dina, and we were both blown away by it.
It was perfect.
Daniel has more experience with it than I do, so like I was like, this sounds pretty good, and I showed it to him, and I was like, do you think this is good enough to show Dina? And he came back to me and was like, dude, this is fucking perfect. She's got the voice, she's got the inflection, she's got the attitude, she's got everything the way that I read it when I read the story, and it's perfect. So I was like, yes. And then you can see it if you go back and watch that episode. You can see the moment where Dina realizes that she's hearing her book.
Yeah,
it's incredible. It really was.
Because she had no idea.
Special, incredible moment. I was like, and it was funny because like it was so well performed that I was just like, I was totally in. I enjoyed it from like start to finish. But it felt like, and I mean, I like only Dina really knows. Like you're the only one who knows like what your intention was, as for, for that book. But like it felt like it was really.
Well, she nailed it.
Yeah, it felt.
She got the
so
spunk and the
good.
attitude and like the kind of like cynical take on everything. It was great.
Yeah, and it was like, and like, and like as a writer, it's just like, you don't always deal with that, like, I mean, there are so many ways anyone can read anything,
It's hard to get your voice through to other people.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just, it's like, and they're I mean, like, and I'll tell you, like, the dumbest example I have for this is something that, like, I always think about, because, like, do you guys remember when Heath Ledger became the Joker? And like, okay, so when Heath Ledger became the Joker, like, if you remember when the casting was
people hated the casting. People hated it.
They were like, Heath Ledger, blah blah blah. So
little
like,
pretty boy,
the kid from it's 10 Things I Hate About You, like
exactly,
what?
A Knight's Tale.
So then like, even when the movie came out, you had that weird like polarization of people who were like, they loved it and recognized like the genius of that performance, and then you had the other people who were saying like, oh, what's so hard about this? Always like, why it's so serious, and like they're making fun of it or whatever. But like the truth is, you can read any particular line a million ways. Like there's no end to the way like you can read any particular line, and he nailed it in creating this whole character. Like he gave depth and like all this feeling, and like he created a character that we've never seen before. And he could have made anything. He could have been like, "Why so serious?" And it could have been like
He
whatever.
could have just been Jack Nicholson.
Made it,
He could have been
I
Jack
mean-
Nicholson. He could have been anyone. Yeah, but he created his own. Like he was like, I'm gonna take some Tom Waits, and I'm gonna take some of this, and I'm gonna mix it all together and make this like perfect storm of like crazy chaos. But it's so like just because it's like you can imitate it doesn't mean that it's not genius. So it's like when I was like listening to Dina's book, and I was just like, it sounds like a familiar voice, but in like such this great way. And I was just in love with like the way that was performed. I was like, I don't know. I always loved Dina, but like I had a new appreciation for Dina as a writer after listening to that, because it was great.
And,
So,
and
yeah.
like, I think that you hit on something that's like really important too, is that, because you have to be so vulnerable and because you have to put so much out there, who you surround yourself with and who you get feedback from is so important to the
Oh my
creative
God, yeah.
process, because you got to have someone that gives you a little bit of the cheerleader when you need the cheerleader, and a little bit of the, Daniel, bro, this is really awkward. You should,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking that when Dina said something, like when you said the thing about the person saying only bad things about your book, where I was like, Neil Gaiman says this thing where he's just like, when someone tells you something doesn't work, they're almost always right, but when they tell you how to fix it, they're almost always wrong.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because it's like and here's the thing, like sometimes that means it's just not right for them. Like and I think that's the thing that like some critics just don't recognize. They don't have the self-awareness to recognize that like a thing, like whatever the genre isn't their thing, and they should shut up. Like
I hate
You
that's,
just shut
that's
your
something
mouth.
that I really hate is like you get bad reviews on books and stuff, and they literally open it with "This isn't my genre,"
yeah, where it's
and I'm
like,
like, why are you rating it?
Why are you writing it? Why are you not self-aware enough to recognize that this isn't for you? Go away. Like and I feel that like we published our Play It Again, and I'm just like, I'm waiting for someone to be like, this is not a superhero story, this is boring, or what, like someone who's looking for a comic book that isn't that book, and it's like, that's okay, but those people exist, and they're freaking everywhere, and they're so loud with their opinions all the time, so like
They really are.
and then like, but I think those people are so discouraging for people like us, like they get in there and they get in our heads and they're like, oh, you're bad, and they make people like Daniel stop writing for 10 years. Like, what are you doing?
And I think that like that's almost like a part of the human nature too, is that like, think about it, because I know that you deal with anxieties and stuff a lot, Anthony, and like, there's always those questions of self-doubt and stuff. You can hear a compliment 1,000 times. Me, Stevie, Sean, Dina, we can all be like, Anthony, this is so good, this is amazing, we're raving about it, and you're gonna be like, okay, but they're just my friends, whatever, like it's not a compliment. But then one person who's a total fucking stranger that doesn't know you, doesn't know your intent, and like you said, maybe doesn't even know the genre, is like, well, Play It Again used an old style of a record player, and I don't like those record players, so this whole book is shit. And you're gonna be like, this person's right.
Yeah,
They are absolutely
right. This is
correct.
garbage. I'm
Burn every copy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Steven, it was your idea for the game. No, I'm just kidding.
Gosh. Yeah. No, you're right though. Like it's terrible that we all accept that. That we do, like, we live in that negative, those negative criticisms, and like I wish we didn't define ourselves by them. Like it's.
I'll add a little bit to that. Like as a creator, not a writer, but like we create something every week for people, and sometimes it goes really well and sometimes it doesn't, and it's hard to put your finger on what like really works and what really doesn't work. And I know you felt this same thing.
People did
Hanukkah
not like
don't work.
Listen, we made a Hanukkah special and it got like 12 views.
Guys,
and,
it's crazy. It's crazy. Like it's
like some stuff. You know what? Our best episodes, aside from like guest episodes, like our best episodes that didn't have a guest. So like for the viewers,
Sean, your best episodes are our episodes. I don't know why you're.
Yeah,
what
our
do you-
best. I'm talking about episodes aside from that. So like our top 2 episodes are, we have issues and we still have issues, and then just the mess, and then the cult episode. So like, you never know what's going to be crazy big. Like we always get better numbers with guests because people know that person and they want to watch it, and that person shares it too. So we get better numbers with those episodes. But like some stuff that we thought was just like a throwaway thing ends up getting a lot of attention. And then some stuff that we're convinced is going to be great it just falls flat.
Yeah.
So you never really know. And the same thing goes with anything you create, really, whether
Yeah.
it's a
No.
comic book or a novel or a short story or whatever you're making. Like every week is an adventure for me on Monday and Tuesday when I'm looking at the analytics and I'm like, did this land?
Yeah.
Did they like that?
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, I'm proud that our Steven and I, like, our guest episodes have done numbers for you guys and helped out. Like, but like, I think as someone who's an actual fan of your podcast, like, I think the Just the Mess episodes are so freaking funny. Like every time
She's so amazing.
She's
I was
so
gonna
good,
say,
dude.
okay, guys, like of everyone that's ever been on your show, there are two people, like Alexander and
Yep.
Just the Mess.
Yes.
I'm like intimidated by them because I think they're so funny as freaking.
They're so
I put on my
fast
wedding
and witty.
tiara for him. I
Yeah,
was
she
so
did.
intimidated.
Because
Yeah.
the first time that Alexander James came on the show, he dressed in a
Yes.
frickin' vest and tie and a collared shirt and spiked his hair up, and he looked incredible. And
Yeah.
as soon as he came into the studio, we were like, well, shit, I'm wearing a t-shirt
Yep.
and fucking
Yeah.
pajama pants. I feel like an asshole.
Me
Yeah.
right now.
So
And then-
Alexander James has like made a point to like that he's like he showed interest in being on our show, and I was like, we can't have anyone as attractive as you on our show.
Yeah, can't do it.
It's
Yeah.
not okay. Like we need
And-
to test out. We need more Daniels in our life. It's
Thank you. That
Nobody
is
else knew
my
that.
brand.
That's
That is-
horrible.
I'm
I
here
love
Alex
to be the low
Dina.
bar.
I learned it from watching Dina. I'm sorry. I needed.
Oh, you're good.
It's
you're
called
good.
it's called the Daniel wild card theory. And what
What it
No.
is?
I like this level of like we're all on equal playing field except for Dina. Obviously, she's
Yeah,
way
Dina's way
we're
up
all
there,
down
yeah.
here. Like I get that.
I'm
Like
like
that's
way
fine.
down here, like struggling to get up.
But like
Alex
but,
also
like,
charms people with his eyes, though, because he will make direct eye contact with the
does.
camera often.
Yes,
And
he does.
he does that thing where he makes eye contact and
Yeah.
smiles like he really cares about you. You feel it even through the screen.
Mhm.
But
And,
And
and
he
let me
doesn't
tell-
look at himself on camera.
No, he doesn't.
If you pay
that
attention,
son of a
that's his
bitch.
trick. And I.
he doesn't need to. He knows he's beautiful. He wakes up every day.
He
not
spent a lot of
insecure.
time in the mirror before the episode. So
Oh, God. And so listen, on a side note, and not gonna give any spoilers, but one of like the 30 people that I'm beta reading for is Alex, and dude, his book is so good. And this is
Yeah.
like this isn't even the one that he's currently like on agent for. Like this
You
is
did
just
make
another
eye babies
project.
with him then? Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, I would. It's so good. I'm
listen,
like,
I edited that footage. I made lots of eye babies with Alex James.
So for those of you listening who haven't seen, go check. I'll post all of the links below. But like I said, the Just the Mess and the Alex episodes are like. And
That's what I send to people when I invite them
Yeah.
on the show for Sean. I'm like,
And,
hey,
like-
look at these episodes.
I mean, you guys, it's interesting. Like, I kind of want to talk about that more. I don't want to like drown people
you're
in like
good.
the inside baseball of podcasting or whatever. But like, honestly, it's so freaking interesting to me. I like as a podcaster and someone who does this and posts this kind of stuff every week. But like, I love your podcast, and I freaking like. I'm always interested in like what works or what doesn't work. But like, I don't get it, guys. Like, I don't get, like, I think the Just a Mess episodes are like, I mean, first of all, she's a freaking genius. Like, she's so funny.
And you want to know what's a funny side note? Because we were
Yes.
talking again about the confidence stuff and the negative space. We get the pleasure of talking to her, and every time she like comes on, she's so prepared. She has all these things written out, and she's so nervous. She spends like a whole day stressing about it. And every time she's like, "Oh, I'm so terrible at this," and not even like from like, "Oh, I want you to compliment."
No,
she's
it's
just like-
true. I
She's
can see
genuinely
it. Like,
scared. Yeah.
if you
Yep.
go watch those episodes, you can see, and I think like one of the things I appreciate about her as a person is like she posted like, okay, I'll tell like I have like a really good memory, and like I remember freaking everything. But like for some reason,
Do you remember our hug?
Don't you dare! Don't you dare, Dina!
You know this would happen, Daniel.
I was
You knew this would
waiting.
happen.
I remember
out.
the
I'm out.
entire interaction with Dina. It was one of my favorite nights. Like
I literally pulled him into my chaos. Okay.
yeah, like
I was like, "Hey, are you a Dina?
each other
Anthony, are
and,
you
like-
a Dina here yet?" I'm in her truck. Why-
I'm in her truck right now. Yeah, that was. So no, but like okay. So I just have a good memory. So I remember like when like Just a Mess came onto my radar on Twitter when I was like, oh, she writes like really good haikus. She has like dad jokes, but they're so good and like well crafted and fun and like just. I freaking love that. I love like that's my favorite thing on Twitter is when like I can scroll through and something actually makes me laugh, and I'm like, I like
You can
it.
tell she
And,
puts a
like-
lot of thought and care into those. Like you can tell they're very well
100%.
crafted.
Like, so I really do appreciate. I appreciate her episodes with you guys, and like Alexander James. Like, Alexander James comes across on Twitter as a kind of like, I don't know, like he's a little too.
I always pictured him as like a happy dad. when I read his tweets before, I was just like, what a nice little dad. Like he's got like he obviously has a family.
He's a
and
cat
he's just
dad.
on Twitter
He's a cat
to
dad.
support his like book or writing or whatever, and he just pops on sometimes. And then after I met him, like I started reading his tweets differently, and I was like, oh, you're fucking cool. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, I have this whole, but similarly, like I had a whole feeling of Alexander James where I was like, I feel like I know him, you know, like
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like he is a certain character.
Yeah, you got
like,
the
he's in my life in this way. And but then,
I
like,
didn't know
after-
him at all. Like before he was on the show. Like I
Yeah.
met him through emailing him, but even then I didn't really meet him until he came into the studio, and I immediately realized how quick and witty he was. Like he had banter and retorts for everything. Like, and it's
I
like
didn't-
that. It's so quick.
and,
Yeah.
like the funniest part is that when the first time we had him on, it was supposed to be for like a little like normally we have like full guests. It was supposed to be like a 10-minute
Yeah.
guest segment.
He was going to be just a special guest in our discussion segment, and then he was going to say goodbye, and we were going to do the rest of the episode without a guest.
Because I thought he was just a dad.
He killed it. That 10-minute segment turned into a 30-minute segment, and then as soon as he left,
He
we're
did
all like,
actually leave. Hold on. He did
Yeah.
actually leave after the segment ended. And then like, I
I
don't know,
missed him.
5 to 10 minutes later, we were like, let's just bring him back in, because we knew he was in the audience still, because he
Yeah.
was chatting on Riverside, which is the platform we used for podcasting. And we saw him chatting, and we were just like,
Response.
let's bring him back in. Let's just fucking bring him back in. And by that time, he had put his pajamas on.
yeah.
So-
His wife's pajamas, actually. He was wearing
yeah.
his wife's.
Well, I think he
I've
was
never been there.
topless.
Harry Potter. Yeah,
I think he
at
was
Harry Potter.
topless. And then when we told him to come back in, he was like 1 minute. And then he went and grabbed the first shirt he found, which just happened to be his
Oh,
wife's
okay.
Harry Potter shirt. So it was like two
What is it,
sizes too small for him.
mysterious?
Yep.
He came on audio only for like a little while, and then he popped on the video, and we saw him wearing like the super tiny t-shirt, like fat guy in a little coat situation. But he's actually very fit. He was just wearing a very tiny t-shirt. He's
And-
just
and-
like, hey guys,
and for all
I
of our folks
changed.
that are watching on YouTube, Steven has the same shirt on right now.
3 sizes too small. It's cutting off circulation just for you guys.
Okay, so guys,
Brunch.
as far as like weekly productivity is concerned, do you have goals that you set? Are you like, I have to get this done, like this is gonna happen, or you know, or like how does your productivity work? What's next for you?
Well,
Guilt.
I'll start with that. I have a hard deadline every week that I have to meet, so I don't really have a choice. And I'm sure Anthony, you can attest to this.
Yeah, absolutely. I do the
Some
same.
days, some days I'm editing Tuesday after the last episode's release, and some days I'm editing Sunday morning for a release that day. And
Oh my gosh.
so, you know, life gets in the way or whatever, and it is what it is. Home life, family life is more important, and you just roll with the punches. So that kind of dictates my day-to-day productivity, and I kind of like how exciting it is because it's not
Yeah.
predictable.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've said this my whole life, even when I was in like middle school to now. Like, I work better under pressure. I say that, I don't know if it's true, but like I think that's just an excuse to procrastinate, really.
I love procrastinating.
And listen, and I don't make this any easier because like Dina is really nice. Like she is always thoughtful,
wait,
and
wait,
helpful.
wait.
I know
No, she
this is
isn't.
crazy.
What
Only
are you
our
talking
producer,
about?
Sean.
Anybody
No, no,
that.
the other
Only-
Dina. The
Yes,
other
the
Dina.
other
This
Dina.
is the
Non-multiverse
Bitchy Universe Dina.
This
Yeah.
is the wrong variant, Daniel.
Yeah, wrong variant.
I'm gonna go
Uh,
get my wig.
But like, yeah,
This is Gator
goes
Dina.
in And she's like, Sean, how can I help you? And like, she'll review footage and like give notes.
Yeah,
and,
actually,
like,
she has a whole document in our rundowns where I give her the raw footage and she'll watch all of it and give me notes on what should be cut. So I have like at least a basic outline of what to cut ahead of time, and then I kind of tweak it from there. But it's been super helpful.
and me on the other hand, I go, listen, Sean, here's a really difficult, time-consuming thing that might be a joke for like half.
He's
of a
like,
second.
listen,
It's
Can
a
you
waste
do
to even
this?
read.
you know that scene in the trailer for No Way Home where the spell goes wrong and like sparks are going everywhere and all that shit? Can we do that? Do
Yeah,
we have
can
the
put
budget for that?
in? I'm the ideas guy, and most of my ideas are Sean, I have a vision that I can't personally do, and
Right.
I want to know if you
Can't physically be done either.
Yeah,
Impossible. Everything
That's
Mantle
So
wants
I'll tell you this: he is when he says he's an idea guy. That means that he gives me ideas all the time,
He,
and I
he writes
use
us his
10%
dream
of them.
journal. Like,
yeah. A lot of times it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, Sean, you know, it'd be really fucking funny is if we make like a GIF of this and like do that. And he's like, bro, that would take me like 4 hours. I am absolutely not doing that, and that's not even funny.
Not even that good of a joke.
not
Listen,
even good.
a Pegasus eating Fruit Loops. Go to bed, Daniel.
mediocre at best. How dare you?
Go to bed.
So wait, back on target. So deadlines. I did set for the first time ever, I set myself the deadline of submitting my novel by January 31st.
You did tell us that, but you
Yes.
did not tell us that you actually did it because you did it like
Yes.
5 seconds before you joined this podcast.
Yes, because I literally texted the person that I was gonna query, and I was like, "I fucking hate you," and then I submitted it. So I'm definitely gonna get it. No, I don't do deadlines. I wouldn't even probably write consistently if it wasn't for Shannon
Shout out
or
Shannon.
Shanoff. Sorry.
Yeah, don't
Um,
mention her name. She who must
Yeah,
not be
she's-
named.
She's the only reason that I'm actively writing because she bullies me every single night.
It's
She's
her
a good
And
style.
we're
soul.
also co-writing something together too, so that helps.
Yeah.
And listen, I joked earlier. I said guilt is how I get things done, and that's 100% the truth. Like, so for example, my story that got selected for the Heroes Anthology,
March 31st, 2022.
yes,
March
on
31st.
Lost Boys Press.
Link in the description.
Super
Oh,
excited
sorry.
about
That's for you.
it.
He's got you though.
Like super excited about it. But when they first announced what the anthology was going to be, and
Listen up, brother.
listen up. I was like, yeah, I should probably submit something, but like I was feeling really lazy, and so I was like, I'm gonna slap together the first chapter of my book, combine it with another short story that like I kind of half-assed written months ago, and make it all coherent and turn it in. And Dina just goes, no. Don't fucking do that. Don't be lazy. And so Sean and Dina for like a solid couple of weeks, like almost every day in our chat was like, don't be lazy, write something original. Don't be lazy, write something original. And then finally I felt guilty enough that I was like, okay, I'm gonna write something original. And then I got beta
It turned out
readers that
fucking
go,
amazing.
yeah.
Of
I
course.
mean, I wouldn't have written or submitted to the anthology either, if it wasn't for Sean telling me that I needed to and like stop the
Yep.
imposter syndrome. Because I
She had-
I felt like they
She
had
said
done
she wrote something. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but
go ahead.
like, she wrote something, but she was not super happy with it. And I was just
Mhm.
like, send it to me. I'll read it. And I thought it was really great. And it was a super cool concept, even. And I know that she struggled with writing with a short story because you have to put so much story into so little words and have it be coherent and have a beginning and a middle and an end. And I think coming back to her and being like, dude, this is something, you got something really good. It energized her a little bit. So
Yeah.
we help each other like that.
And listen, I'm not kidding when I say it, and I fawned over this a lot. Sean,
Bond.
especially before this podcast, was not a reader. He did not really read books. Like, what was
Sean
before the whole
couldn't
podcast? What was the
read,
last
you
book
get
you
it.
read? Yes,
I
Honestly?
can't
might have been The
read.
Rock, huh?
No,
Catcher
it's
in
not
the
that
Rye in
far.
seventh grade.
I read Dwayne Johnson's biography for a book report in freshman year of high school. By the way, that's the
Oh, yeah.
reference he's making. I definitely didn't read fiction,
Yeah.
like at all. If I read anything,
What a
it was
monster.
biographies or stuff like that. But even then, it wasn't much at all. So it had been a really long time since I read anything long form, at least.
And so now he gets every guest's book, and he's been slowly but surely just getting himself. You've created your own goal, a reading goal, and he's been reading guest work. He's been reading mine and Dina's stuff, and like it's so cool to know that someone that like this isn't their natural inclination, and they've been getting into it, and they get excited about it. Like, you know how we joke around, we're like, hey, why is that person giving a review on something? They're like, dude, I don't read books, but I'm gonna review this. And then you're like, well, fuck you, asshole. But on the other side of the coin, when you get someone that is like, okay, I don't normally read, but holy shit, this is amazing, and you have me hooked, you're like cloud nine. You're like, I'm
It's
fucking
really good.
amazing. Let's go.
He chose me, everybody.
And on the same token, for me, like I will spend hours cutting an episode together, or even just like I'll spend 30 to 40 minutes cutting together a 50-second promo for next week's episode. And I'm like, I think this is pretty good. And then I'll shoot it to Daniel and Dina, and they'll be like, dude, that's fucking cool. That's like the best one so far. And that's like the feedback I get every time. So it's super helpful to have that, you know,
Support
like
system.
when
I
you
mean,
when you feel like, oh, this is good enough, and then someone is like, this is really great, it really, you know, lifts you up.
Yeah.
But
And, like,
also
sorry, go on,
for
sorry.
well, for writers out there that like think that you have to write every week or every day or whatever like your deadlines are and stuff, you don't have to have a consistent schedule. Like you don't have to write every week, you don't have to write every month. You can go a year without writing and you're still a writer and you're still involved in the community. So like I don't want to isolate anybody, and I'm not
Fucking preach.
I mean,
You know,
it's
some
true,
people,
it's frustrating that people think that we have to have deadlines and we don't.
though. Mhm.
no, there is a level of guilt there, though, like what Daniel said, like where you're like, I call myself a writer and I haven't actually sat down and written for a long time. But like, you know, some people take 10 years to write a book before they release it, you know, and sometimes it takes that amount of time. Like Rance, for example, Rance Denton wrote His Ragged Company, and I'm just finishing the audiobook of that, and it's
So
so
good.
fucking good. It's
Yeah,
so
I've been
good.
hearing that the audiobook for that has been like really
Oh,
great.
Oh my god.
Dude, John Perala
so
does the most perfect reading of that book, and he does all the voices, and he's got that rugged, like fucking Clint Eastwood
Oh,
style
that's
voice.
awesome.
You know what I mean? And he just nails
Oh,
Elias Faust, the main character. And I'm like an hour away from finishing it, and I'm like, I will literally sit in my car in the parking lot of my work for an extra 15 to 20 minutes to
Just to
finish a
hear that.
chapter
And that's- and
before I
that's
go
what-
in.
And that's why I get so excited about it, like, because we talked about Dina's like audiobook, like the written word's amazing, but there's something so special about, because like I read Rance's book, like, you know, on my e-reader, and then now I've gone back and I've been listening to it and just hearing that performance. Like you talk about how it opens up a whole new artwork when you have an incredible fucking narrator that brings those words to life, man. Like, holy shit.
No, thank you guys for joining us. This has been so much fun to talk to you guys. I've had a weird week, and I kind of needed to hang out with you guys. I needed it. It helped. It makes me
Cheers
feel
to that, buddy.
Fuck
Cheers
yeah.
to that. Hell yes.
Yeah.
It's so
So-
funny that every time we do get together and record it, really the reason why it takes so long, I think, is it literally just feels like a group hangout. And you just like
Yeah.
no one really wants to go to
Yeah.
bed or take off from the
And
bar.
we're not
Yeah,
like
all-
staying on track. We're just shooting the shit.
Yeah, we're just-
I
we're just-
literally like when I went to go meet up with you guys, I was like, yeah, I'll be back in like an hour. And then I realized what I said.
And like what's funny is like after, you know, she at least she was more prepared this time, because like it used to be when we first started doing episodes, Dina was like, I want 45-minute episodes, you know, we want to be tight, we want to be short. And now it's like I can't even imagine getting under an hour. And
Yeah.
like when the last time you guys came on, like Dina's like, this is gonna be like a 3-hour episode. Like we're all mentally prepared. Like,
I took
we've
off
beaten
work
her
the
down.
next day.
We've beaten her down. She just doesn't even try to make us concise anymore.
She
She's just
took
like,
a nap this afternoon in preparation for this.
Appropriate.
I will tell you this, a little don't make it weird Easter egg. I went out of my way to make sure that her birthday episode was 1 hour on the dot.
Yep.
On the dot after the edit, because she always
I'm
said,
happy.
I want 1 hour episodes.
Aw,
So to the second, her episode is 1 hour on the dot.
that's awesome.
Good luck making that happen for me again, Anthony. Do it now.
Oh yeah, that's not happening this time.
Zero chance.
So, guys, every week, like Steve and I kind of say what we were planning on doing next week. Like, how do you plan what you're doing? Like, what are you going to work on this week? Do you have any actual plans? Like, are you worried about anything getting in the way? What are you doing?
I mean, my job is is writing related, so that I prioritize that, and we have a lot of things happening next week. But I do have plans with Shannon and Jess and Kirsten Bowling, who has a book coming out, who is a fucking amazing book. Oh my god, it's my favorite book. Okay. We have plans to work on our novel that we're writing. So I'm hoping to get at least one chapter done. And now that I have submitted my other whip, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
So,
Oh god.
so you're aiming to get a chapter done. You got
Yeah,
this.
at least a chapter. Yeah.
You know what? I mean, so what's funny is like for me, I mean, we recorded an episode Thursday. We're on with you guys. We've got Stormy Lynn
Oh, we have
coming
a
on.
live coming too.
Yeah, and we've got a quarantine book club episode where we're gonna
We
be
are going to be on the quarantine book club.
with
I'm so
rants.
tired.
Cool.
And
That's awesome.
and listen, just no a little bit of spoilers. I picked the book that we're gonna be reading. It's called Dinosaur Lords, and
Oh
it's
my-
easily one
There's
of the
not
worst-
even dinosaurs
Hold
in
on.
it. I'm so mad.
If you ask Rance, he'll say it's called Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Dinosaur Lords.
I
and
forgot
it's
to
one of the
ask him
worst
about that.
books ever
Rance is-
written.
But Rance
I'll
is
put
great. Like
I'll
I
put you this way because I feel like Steven and Anthony, I feel like you'll love this. There's a dinosaur that they refer to unironically 44 times in the book called a sackbutt.
A Zach butt?
Sackbutt.
So, quick backstory. I know we're trying to wrap this up, but I have to tell you, Daniel has been like campaigning for us to do a book club thing with this book for ages because it's the first book that he read with his frat brothers who started their own book club after college.
Like
Why
6
am
years
I
he-
ago.
friends with
he
somebody
is-
that was in a frat?
He has maintained for all these years that it's the worst book that he's ever read in his life.
And I support that.
And so you can imagine how tough a sell that is when you're like, we should read this book. It's the worst thing I've ever
Okay,
read in my
no,
life.
You say that, but like The Room,
No.
and, like Birdemic, and like all those
No,
movies.
That's
Anthony,
fair.
I need you to look at my little square here. This is the worst book.
So like the person that like beta read like yours should have read this one.
Yes.
That
Would have been
changed the
vomiting the whole
perspective.
time. So listen, not only is he
Sackbutt.
making us go through it, but he's also forcing Rance and Bob Denton of the Quarantine
Yep.
Book Club
Bringing
podcast to
everyone
read
down
it
with me.
so we can record with them in early February. So yeah, everyone is going through the pain thanks to Daniel.
Daniel, you're my hero. That's so cute.
Just sweet, man. I just love
sweet.
Daniel.
And can I just say real quick, because I know you guys are trying to wrap up, but I fucking love you guys. And I'm so excited that like this is my first time being on someone else's podcast. And I love just getting to see the creativity, see what you guys come out with. I love it when you guys do all your crazy songs. I mean, Darkwing Duck Country is still one of my favorite jams of all time. And you know, Anthony, I know that you personally have been through a lot of stuff, man. You've been through a lot emotionally, and you're a good fucking guy, man. And I want you to know that I'm so happy for you, for your relationship, for all the good things coming your way, because you fucking deserve it. And I'm just so happy for you guys, man. And I love being on this show.
Thank you.
We love you too, Daniel.
Yeah,
Dina.
we love you
I
guys.
hate when Daniel does these speeches because then I feel like I need a speech, but I don't want to. But I don't want to take like his spotlight. So
Put your
I'm
shirt
like,
back on, Dina.
like,
Put your
listen,
shirt back
no,
on.
Like,
I just wanted to say from the heart, an original thing that I just came up with, and I just felt like I needed to say this. I just love you guys, and I love being here with you guys. And it's the first time I've been on someone else's show, and I just wanted to say, actually, that's not true. Dina and I have been on other people's shows, and Daniel didn't show up because
I don't show up.
he's a flake.
Thank you guys for joining us. What do you have to plug, like aside from your incredible podcast, which we'll clearly link below? But like we know you have a book coming out, so you want to plug that one time before we get out of here?
mhm.
Yep. Sean, do
So-
it. I want to hear your voice, Sean. I want the deep narrator voice.
Okay.
Wait,
So the Heroes Anthology from Lost Boys Press is coming out March 31st, 2022. It features 14 stories of legendary heroes reimagined in different scenarios or timelines, or there's a lot of really cool stuff that they played with in those stories. And both Daniel and Dina, amongst a lot of our friends in the writing community, are
So
being
many
published
cool
in that
people
book.
in the writing community.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
it's
really
been
excited
awesome
about
to see
it.
Everyone's getting excited about this. So like, I hope everyone buys this.
It's available for pre-order now at lostboyspress.shop. You can get the paperback or the hardcover or the ebook. International hard. It's hard.
Hard.
International people,
Get
you
it
gotta
while
wait
it's
for the
hard.
hardcover. But yeah, lostboyspress.shop. If you want to support our show and get a shirt like what Stevie Wildcard is wearing, you can
Yo.
come to store.don'tmakeitweird.net. That is a comic book cover that Stevie Wildcard illustrated for us for an inside joke we had on Twitter months ago, and it's such a cool illustration.
really
He also
is.
has the poster in the background, which is also available on store.don'tmakeitweird.net amongst all of our other merchandise. And I swear to God, every single penny of that goes right back into what it costs us
Mhm.
to make the show.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you
it's
like
very
it,
expensive.
you know, show
The
us.
more you
And
spend, just think about this, guys. The more you spend
oh my
on
God,
us,
Daniel, shut the fuck up.
the more I can ask Sean to do ridiculous gifts because then he'll be
Oh,
paid to do
Lord.
it.
So what I
Yeah.
was gonna follow up with was, Daniel, why don't you give them a very quick little tidbit about what your story is about?
Mine,
Quick.
mine is based on the legend of
Discussion.
Ji Gong from Chinese Buddhist mythology. Basically, the mad monk, a drunk Buddhist monk that goes around saving villages. So if you want to read about a drunk monk saving people, read my story.
Dina,
And Dina, so
Dina, what is your story about? Like, I don't care about Daniel's. Daniel's is
Yeah, fuck
probably
me.
like it's probably
No.
fine. Your story, I need to know what it's about.
My story is about it's a King Midas retelling, except I made King Midas a woman and a spy in the 31st
Gender
century.
bend.
Huh.
It's really good, you guys.
It's really good. Dina
Also,
crushes it.
Of course it is.
Daniel's story is leading off, so you can get the vomit out of the way early
Yeah,
and then get on to the good stuff.
Good stuff as we go forward. And
yeah,
and let
mine
me
is
just
like second to last. So, good
but
luck
but
with
let me
that.
just say, like, this is how good Dina is as a writer, and this is my last like heaping on of praise. You can ask her, like, half of my beta notes literally were just, I need more Dina-isms here. It wasn't even constructive. It wasn't even like blah blah blah. It'd be like, hey,
That's
this would be a good spot for you to say something Dina-y.
But you've set a reputation because now all three of my betas all just say, like, they don't give me constructive criticism. They just say I need more Dina-isms, and I'm like, "Ugh."
Listen, you guys, listen.
Oh,
Dina's run into a big issue. Everyone loves her voice so much
It's not true.
that they just want more of it.
It's not true. I don't want to
Talk
we
about a
support her.
first world problem, am I right? By the way,
Dina. Or Dina.
No.
I stole
must
that
must
bit.
be rough.
I stole that sad music bit directly from the Dentons on the Quarantine Book Club podcast. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Another 100% original segment of ours.
Amazing. No, I'm super excited for this. Like it's like this year I've been trying to read more indie books, you know, from like the Twitter community at large. And like I'm so freaking excited for this because like I am like a huge fan of both of yours. You know, like obviously you're my friends and like I appreciate you, but like I'm also just like a huge fan. You know, I was like I love this. I can't wait for this
Dude.
freaking book.
No joke. I look forward to Wednesdays. I listen to your guys' show on my commute.
He literally
Wednesday
live
mornings,
texts
so
it.
Yeah,
I
and
do,
he'll
in the
send
chat.
us links and just be like, dude, you gotta listen to this part right here. Oh my god. Like he literally he's just like, you should see our chat. It's crazy.
I mean, I can't tell you how much we appreciate that. Like, it's crazy, guys. And like, you know what it's like. Like, you put a show out there and you try to like do. It's weird because like I'm trying to find the balance between like being who we are and like doing what we want to do and also trying to be like entertaining and like like find a community and and it's not always easy. It's not always the same freaking thing, like sometimes I'm like, Steven, we have to just do this and it doesn't matter if anyone watches it. It doesn't matter, Steven.
That's how I feel. Like, you know what? Our audience will come eventually. We have a small audience that we love and adore, and there's people who comment on our shit all the time. Even in real life, there's a handful of people that come to me and they're like, I listened to that one thing and it was so cool, and you guys are so cool for doing this, and that means so much.
Okay, but like
I get it.
I'm so happy for you guys. Like I love that you guys have this like great foothold in the community and like people actually like your show now and like they're showing up for you in like seemingly record numbers. I don't know. I don't have your analytics, but like
Well, every
I'll
time we
point
have a
to the
live
record.
stream, there's a few more than the last time.
Yeah.
So there's definite like measurable growth.
yeah, dude, and like it's great. Like there's so many like indie podcasts that like I try to support and like I see every week, and like people like you guys on like 20-10 minutes and like there are these shows that like I'm actually a fan of, and it's cool. There's nothing I appreciate more than actually enjoying my friends' work. Like it's really cool. It's really interesting, and like because it's one thing to just like be supportive for the sake of being supportive, but like I actually like your show, and like it means so much more that like I actually enjoy it, and I can show up every week and be like, fuck yeah, look at what they're doing. Like, yes.
I mean, listen, dude, you've seen the text messages from my mom. She fucking loves you and Stevie, guys. Like, she's like, oh my god, Anthony and Stevie, they're so charming. Oh my god, that's so funny. I'm like, Mom, all right, you don't have to talk
Why do you
about them.
make your
every
mom
time.
sound like Barbara Streisand? That's not what she sounds like.
You don't love me, Daniel. You love the idea.
I
of me.
live to make Daniel's mom verklempt. Like that's but thank you guys for joining us this week. It's been incredible. We really appreciate you. We can't wait to see your Heroes Anthology and you know your podcast, which we will link below, of course, and on the screen right now. Go click this link. Watch this freaking podcast. It's amazing. Steve and I have been on it. We will hopefully we'll be on it again.
The third is coming.
The
The third is coming. We have a book coming out in March, guys. So if you don't know this, Deathless is coming out in March for sure. Like we are. We're gonna post our Kickstarter.
What?
We're gonna post our Kickstarter in March, and we can't wait. We will hope everyone joins us. We want everyone to be there for us. We are gonna finish this freaking book. It's one of my favorite.
Listen, I missed the Kickstarter for Play It Again, so I'm gonna make up for it for Deathless. Tell you what.
Yeah, no, we can't wait. Like, we hope everyone joins us. Like, we know, like, it's weird. Like, what we're, like, you guys know, you have a podcast. You know, like, it's a strange balance to strike and try to like find people, find an audience, find fans, find friends. Like, do this thing, and like, hopefully, people support you. We're here, and we're hoping that people will join us. And like,
Can I just make a confession real
Absolutely.
quick? Can I just make a confession? My daughter's birthday is in March, and that's now the second most exciting thing that's gonna be happening in March, behind Deathless. So. I'm kidding. I love you, Eve. You're the best thing ever. I love
She
you.
won't hear this for at least 10 years. Don't worry about it, buddy.
But guys, it really has been, as always, it's always an incredible time hanging out with all three of you. It's just more fun. I mean, not that us doing podcasting is work anyway, because this is definitely something that we enjoy doing anyway. But no, it's special with you guys, and we do enjoy you guys so much, and we love you guys so much.
yeah,
I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at you, Steven. I was laughing at Dina fixing your camera.
The struggle. The struggle
That was very
bus of Dina.
heartfelt, and it meant a lot to me. But like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if like a dog
So here's the
swooped
thing.
in and
I
knocked
have been
something over.
texting Sean. I was like, hurry the fuck up because my dog is literally about to poop. And I was like, oh my
I'm
god,
sorry.
he's packing. I
I'm
can
sorry.
run and I can let them outside real quick. And then they took my computer down with them.
We saw that part. At least Daniel, I saw Daniel notice it. Like Daniel was
Yeah.
going like this. He's going.
Daniel and I were both like, because her camera turned sideways.
Oh,
Anyway,
All right.
I'm
But
producer
yes.
Sean.
I'm Dan Q. Dan Q.
It's Dank.
It's Dink. It's Dan Q.
Dan Q writes thing on Twitter. That's Dan Q writes thing. Dina, what about you, buddy?
I'm
And I'm
dinosaurs.
Dinosaur. No, I was kidding.
I'm
It was a
Dinosaur.
callback.
Ah!
It was a callback. It was a callback.
The season.
I'm Dinosaurus D. That's D like D's no.
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And I'm Stevie Vilebot.
I'm Stevie Wildbot.
I'm Stevie Wildbot.
Damn those bloodsuckers.
And this has been episode 74 of We Have Issues. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Oh, hello.
So, Dina, how do you turn to a dog? That's, I mean, it's impressive. Like, we
Yeah.
really appreciate it. It's, I mean, your hair is still phenomenal. I see that it's mostly fluffy in the backside. Interesting. You are basically
Dina, you're
essentially
being
a
very
mullet, like,
rude to
yeah,
our
you're a
hosts.
mullet
Can you
dog.
please? Yeah, can you turn around, Dina? Very
Face
rude.
the camera, Dina.
Dina,
This
Oh,
is.
she's
Oh no!
She's leaving
no.
now. You
Oh,
guys
I guess
scared her
so.
off.
We'll see you later, Dina. We'll miss you. I'll think of you fondly.
That's the end of the episode bit anyway, for sure.
We've got it, baby.
Dina,
Oh.
you're human again.
I'm
Oh,
human again.
oh
Don't
my
take my
god!
computer.